I'm just gonna open up the question thing just so that if you can hear me, if someone can let me know if you can hear me, that would be great. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my session. My name is Maclean Mbepula. I happen to be a writer on Medium from Lilongwe, Malawi. Malawi is in Africa. And I am so excited to be here. I have 3 sessions on Medium Day, and this is my first one. It's titled, How to Keep Your Head Up as a Non-Native Writer. How to keep your head up as a non-native writer. I happen to be virtually full-time as a writer, and I think I've learned 1 or 2 things that some of you may find useful. So before I get into the meat of the things that we'll be sharing in the session, before I get into all of that, first I'm going to give you a little bit of my background, and then I'll tell you why I might be qualified to share with you some of the tips I'll share, and then I'll share with you the tips. So it's a 3-part process. So a little about me. As I said, I'm from Malawi. I grew up in Namibia. Namibia is also in Africa. My parents were diplomats there. And when we came back to Malawi, there was a bit of a challenge for me because English was my main language, and I didn't even, my comprehension, my writing, my speaking skills in my own native language were absolutely below par. And fast forward to present day, as a writer, it can be challenging for potential clients or even editors to comprehend that someone who is not from a country that is considered English speaking to be considered also native, to be considered proficient in English. So I've had to do a couple of things to make sure that I overcome some of the stigma that comes with it, the pain, the challenges. If you are on talent platforms, you may have come across that yourself. It can be really heartbreaking when you know you've got the skills, you can perform, you're going to do a great job, you're responsive to clients, or you can be responsive, and yet there you are really, really struggling to even get your foot in the door. So I figured out a couple of things, and some of these things are pretty much common sense, and some of them are not, or perhaps you guys can let me know in the question, feature. But the reason why I feel qualified to share some of these tips it's just a few reasons. One, like I said, I'm virtually full-time as a writer. So the first thing is I have a top-rated status on Upwork, and Upwork happens to be one of the world's premier talent marketplaces. So I am top-rated there, which I believe means I am amongst the top 10% of talent on the platform. And the work that I mainly do there is writing. The other reason I think I'm qualified to share these things is because I also have 100% job success score also on Upwork. That just basically means that I finish my work with clients, and the percentage they put on that is 100%. And I've worked towards that. I didn't start off at 100. So these are my main reasons for thinking that I could share with you as someone who I consider English my first language because that's the one I know the most. I am bilingual, but I also understand, the challenges that those that don't identify in that way also have the same, struggles that I have had. So here are the tips that I believe can help you to keep your head up as a non-native writer. And by the way, I just forgot one thing. I also happen to write for several publications on Medium. They include The Startup, A Data-Driven Investor, and The Writing Cooperative, amongst others, and Illumination. I love Illumination. Okay, so here are my tips on how you can keep your head up as a non-native writer. Okay, number 1, you have to work on your mindset. And I know that this is probably, it's reached a cliche status, mindset, but it is true. And it is one of the most important things that we can do as non-native writers. You have to first believe, especially if you're doing this whole writing thing for work, you want to get paid for it, you have to first believe that you can command the kind of income or generate the kind of income from your writing that you desire. It has to be at least a belief that it is a possibility, not believe that you can do it right then, but perhaps with the right tools, the right investment, the right self-development techniques, that you can command the amount of money that you want. If for example your goal is to earn, say, $2,000 a month, it has to begin with that belief that it is possible for you to get to that point. So the first thing that you need to do to keep your head up is to work on your mindset. And also you have to also believe that though there are those clients that you will never be a worthy candidate for because you are non-native speaking or not, you're a non-native writer, there are so many other potential clients all over the world who don't care about that. As long as you can guarantee them, or you can present to them the quality of work that they desire, they don't care where you're from. They don't care if it is your fifth language, but if you can deliver the quality of work that they want, then you're good. And so you have to have that in your mind, that they're there, they exist, and they're waiting for you to connect with them. And also you have to believe you can get better as a writer. I'm not saying that we are not good enough writers or whatever, but I do believe everybody, whether it's your first language or whatever, I do believe there's always that room for improvement. We can always get better. And I believe we always have to have that mindset that I should always be looking at improving. Like in my case, I love Coursera and other platforms like that. And I look for courses on it that can help me to improve even the most basic of things, like basic grammar, creativity, etc. There are many courses, and some of them are free. On Coursera, for example, you can audit a course, which means that you can learn along with whoever else is enrolled in it, but you won't be assessed, and that means you also won't get a certificate when you complete the course. And if your focus is simply just to get better, that shouldn't matter to you. What should matter to you is whether you're getting better. So that's the first thing, mindset. Second thing, investing in yourself. That's another thing that can help you keep your head up as a non-native writer. Investing in yourself can look differently. It can look different for different people. Like I mentioned, taking a course or whatever. That's an aspect of investing in yourself. It can also mean buying books about writing and trying to absorb that information. Or it can also mean maybe taking exercises, writing exercises. You could look online for free exercises that you can take, and you can do every day or whatever. That's investing in yourself. One simple thing that I love to do, and I know it can sound really silly, is every time I want to use a word and I'm unsure, I Google that word, I check for the spelling, the meaning, even if it is simple, I do that. And at the end of the day, that's a word I can now feel more confident about using in my speech or in my writing, or even to comprehend when someone says it in a conversation. But if it means taking a course, if it means spending hours on YouTube trying to follow a tutorial on grammar, sentence construction, or creativity, on whatever investing means to you, that doing that will not only give you confidence, but it also give you competence. And I don't know who said this, but they said competence breeds confidence. Meaning the more competent you get, the more confident you are in whatever it is that you are offering, whatever it is that you have become competent in. So the third thing that can help you keep your head up as a non-native writer is reading a lot. Now, now this is the thing. I can't remember who said this, but they said that reading is the toolbox for the writer. Meaning, if we read, we somehow assimilate the tools that we need to write. It doesn't necessarily mean that we copy from other, writers because we're reading, but we can't help to absorb it. We see how a writer wrote, how a sentence was constructed, the meaning that it gave, the feeling that it gave you, perhaps it even inspires a writing idea for you, or whatever. But reading a lot is crucial for a lot of us writers. And I've heard it said that there are some writers who don't need to read a lot. Look, there are exceptions to every rule. And I know people who don't like to read, and that's okay. That's okay. We're different people. But for the majority of us, we need to read. And when we read, we get better. Okay? So if you read a lot, I'm telling you, it is another thing that could help you keep your head up as a non-native writer. And these are all things that I have done, all things that have helped me. Now, the next one, number 4, the fourth thing that can help you keep your head up as a non-native writer is to write every day. Now, I'm going to be really honest here and tell you right now that I have tried to write every day and I have failed. If you go to my Medium page, like my first article this year in January, I wrote, I'm going to write every day on Medium. It's my goal, etc., etc. I only managed to write like 3 articles consecutively. And then I was wiped out, and the guilt of it just consumed me. But I attended some course, and this stuck with me, that might also help you if you struggle with consistency in writing. They said one shouldn't aim for perfect commitment. One shouldn't, but we should aim for, they called it consistent, committed, imperfect action. Basically, action in the direction that you want to go. So if you fail to write every day in a month, it's okay. You're a human being. But if you manage somehow, you couldn't write today, you felt lazy tomorrow, but you pushed yourself the day after and you wrote, and maybe you push yourself again the day after, and the day after that you were too lazy to write or overwhelmed with life, whatever. But as long as it's something that you keep at, even though it's not as consistent as you want, that still counts. It really, really does still count. So if you can't write every day, if you can't write every day, write as consistently as you can manage. Okay, so my next tip for how you can keep your head up as a non-native writer is you have to have an interesting life. Okay, so I'm like trying not to laugh, because I know that can be, I mean, like, how do you craft an interesting life? I think it really comes down to all the opportunities you end up taking. For example, I don't know if you guys know how us, speakers got to be involved in the speaking thing, but Medium sent out some emails to a bunch of us Medium, writers on Medium, and they gave us the opportunity. Hey, we're having our first ever Medium day and would like you to apply to be one of our speakers. And I applied because I thought, oh my gosh, this is going to be so cool. It is going to be so cool. And when I applied, they even, when I sent in the form, their confirmation information included the fact that if you want to host more sessions, you can host more sessions if you apply. So I applied, and hence why I'm presenting or hosting 3 of them. And I believe that's an like an example of living an interesting life, because I get to interact with you guys that are present watching this, but also you get to interact with me. Who knows? I might make a friend. Who knows what will happen here. So that's the second last tip. And the last one, the last thing that can help you keep your head up as a non-native writer, that I believe, is if you try and stay inspired. Stay inspired. What does that mean? It just basically means, look for things that help you, stay loving the whole craft of writing. Look for things that inspire you to write that book or write that article or write that script, or to engage as a writer. Look for those things and really cherish those things. And like, you're having a tough time maybe writing a book you're trying to finish, look for something that will inspire you to finish. And one of the things that I find really inspiring are stories or autobiographies or biographies of other writers. I find them so inspiring because, I mean, when you read their stories and you also think, well, this person did this, I could do this. And to date, I've written 3 books. One of them is on business, and there are 2 that are poetry collections. And I have written countless books for clients as a ghostwriter or angel writer. And I have several other projects brewing. So, guys, this is just my advice as a writer. And I know we all have different challenges. Also, I know some of you guys may know things that I don't know. So I'm going to open up the question section now. If you have any questions at all, feel free to jot that down in the ask a question bit thingy. And some of you have asked to moderate, so I guess I'm gonna click the plus button, meaning you're gonna have the opportunity to say, you know, whatever you'd like to share. So feel free, guys. I'm just accepting anyone who wanted to moderate. If you want to share. Is there anyone who'd like to share? Okay.
Hi, Maclean.
Hi, how are you, Ankit?
Good, good. How are you doing?
I'm
Thank
great. How are
you.
you?
Good,
And let
good.
me also the other person here. Okay, maybe he's disappearing. Okay, anyway, Ankit, tell me what helps you keep your head up high as a non-native writer?
So something that works for me is what you said about keeping like staying inspired, right? Like always. So like I have a background in science, so I always try to look from that perspective and try to see inspiration, get inspiration from small things in life, and that is something which at least kind of helping me for now to like continue writing. And yeah, like that's something I think I can only think of it of that for now. Yeah.
Fantastic. So, do you write on Medium as well?
Yeah. I have been on Medium for a while now, but like I recently, like I was doing a career switch, so I was like, okay, let's try something new, and so that's where like I have been lately a little bit active, and yeah, like
Mhm.
I've been enjoying, like in fact I've been talking to a lot of my friends and saying that how writing can affect your brain. It makes you a totally different person when you write. It's like yeah, I mean I would say anyone in the group would agree on that, right? Like
Mhm.
what do you guys think?
Is HI should I think his microphone is off. If anyone wants to share their, you know, ideas, their thoughts, please, you're welcome. And Kit, what do you write on Medium about?
So I write a lot of stuff right now. So like about science, philosophy, or like just like ideas, thoughts, like a human brain, like this kind of thing. So
Mhm.
I'm still yet to like decide on a niche because like I'm trying out. I'm also like experimenting and see how
Mhm.
things goes. So Maclean, before we go further and like invite other
Mhm.
folks as well to join, I had very
Mhm.
one quick question about and the reason why I was interested in your talk. First of all, yeah,
Mhm.
like great talk. Like I already made some notes. Like thanks for all the like great advice. So
You're welcome.
question I had is that so for me, like coming from my background, so I come from India and my native language is Hindi, right? And now that I'm talking to you in English, so yes, like I have had my education in English, which makes me at least fluent enough to talk, and like I can write a bit. That's fine, but sometimes I have this feeling where, like, let's say I'm thinking something in my native language, and I'm not able to bring it in English, right? Or even if I bring it, it's not that I would say good that I want it to be. So, do you have any like thoughts on that? Like, have you ever faced this kind of situation where you have, or anyone in the audience, like if they have faced this kind of situation where you are able to perceive or think something in your native language very well, but you are having trouble translating it to English because sometimes languages also I don't know, like, so yeah, like, open question to you all.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the ball rolling, and then if anyone wants to add, anybody is welcome to request being added to the moderation. Guys, don't be shy. Okay, this is a friendly place, and we're happy to have you. Okay, so I'm going to try and respond to what you asked, Ankit. How do you help yourself think more in the language that you want to write? Correct? Like if you want to write in English and you're thinking in a different language, how do you help your brain to do that? Okay, I think, hi, welcome, Crystal. Welcome. I think, okay, your audio is coming. But anyway, I'm going to answer Ankit, and then we'll get to you, Crystal, okay? We can't hear you, though.
Yeah. We can't hear you, Crystal.
Okay, she's sorting that out. Ankit, let me try and answer your question. I think it's more of a question that a linguist would, or like a doctor, like a neurologist would be better suited to answer. But from my layman's perspective, I've had the opposite problem. Like I've always thought in English, and when it comes to trying to write one of our native language, which is Chichewa, I can really struggle. So what I've learned, like the number one thing that has helped me is literally trying to use my native language more. That is it. Like trying to speak it more, I don't even think in my native language, honestly. There was one time, I think my brother said, "Hey, Maclean, have you started to think in Chichewa?" Like, I don't even know where that came from. But it because I never even, like, what you're saying wasn't something I knew back then. So I think the first thing that could help is actively try and use it more. The language that you want to become more proficient in, try to speak it more, try to even think in it more. You know what I'm saying? Actively try to think in English.
Of course. Yeah.
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 I think that's the most basic advice I can give. But it means a lot of practice. It means consciously doing it until it becomes a subconscious act.
Exactly. Yeah. No, 100% agree. I can like, yeah, definitely. That definitely sounds like a very like way to go. Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Let's look at what Crystal, have you sorted out your audio? Well, we still can't hear you, Crystal. There's like 3 little green dots by. Well, actually, we should be able to hear you because there are 3 little green dots on my name as well. So we can't hear you. So, okay, you sort that out. HI, there's someone over there with the word HI. And also, Crystal, whilst you're doing that, maybe you can just type in a question in the question thingy. Oh, yeah, we have HI. Welcome, HI. Okay, HI, we also can't hear you yet. So maybe your audio is connecting. Sorry about the technical things, guys. No, we can't hear you yet, HI, but we can see you. And Kit, thank you so much for your contribution. If anything pops at you within the next 4 minutes before the session is over.
Thank you. Yeah, I will try to go off. Maybe that would help. I guess it might be some technical. Try.
Oh, okay. So HI and Crystal, we can see you, but we can't hear you. Or can you try? Hi, Sarah.
Hello.
Welcome to.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Sarah. Thank God. Okay. And Crystal, could you type in the question thing? Maybe whilst you're still sorting it out, we can still. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Hi, Sarah.
Hi. I'm sorry about my webcam. There's a problem with it today. I don't know what happened.
We're just glad to hear you and to have you.
Yeah. This is my first time on at Medium Day. I have never been present for Medium Day ever.
It's the first one, so it's first for all of us.
Really? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So what are your thoughts?
Um,
Are you a non-native writer as well?
yeah, basically, I'm from India, but I went to an English school, so my English is okay. But there are many people in my family who do not speak English as well as I do because I went to an English school. So I'm the only one who's on Medium writing my thoughts and my feelings, and I'm happy to know that India has been added to the list. I mean, this is something very recent, so I'm just waiting for it to happen. It hasn't happened yet, so it was delayed, right? So
It's gonna happen, and it's
yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you write on? What topics do you like to write about?
Basically, at the moment, I write short stories, and I also try to do some journaling and public journal kind of thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I
Oh,
also am a
Crystal,
member.
yeah, try headsets. They might help.
I'm a member
Sorry.
of I'm a member of a publication called the Taoist Online, and there's another publication I'm a part of. I can't
I've
remember
seen
the
that.
name.
I've
Yeah,
seen that publication. It seems cool.
yeah, it's nice. Something about Eastern religions and
Mm-hmm.
something different.
So, do you have anything that helps you to feel um, like? Is there anything that helps you keep your head up as a non-native writer?
Basically, I just like it when people suddenly start highlighting and commenting on your stories when maybe you might have felt ignored, or maybe you might have felt like people don't get the idea in the past, or people sometimes I mean, you might be a good writer, but for some reason, people just don't follow you, or maybe that has to do with the writer. They like maybe I wasn't adding pictures, or maybe there was something I wasn't doing, so
Mm,
people were
mhm,
ignoring my story. But we
mhm,
all learn from our mistakes, and
yeah,
I mean, it's nice. I started to feel better about my writing when people started to follow and highlight and comment and stuff like that. So
mhm,
that made me understand that. People were reading my stuff, so that gave me a
mm,
good feeling about what I was writing.
mhm,
Even though I'm not earning anything from what I'm writing at the moment, I still feel good when I get some feedback from what I'm writing. You know.
mhm. Okay, so I'm going to cut you short there.
Okay.
Crystal, thank you so much for your feedback. Crystal, do you have any comment? Because we're running out of time. We have like 1 minute left. No? Okay. Okay, Crystal's gone. Okay, guys, I have 2 other sessions. If you check out the schedule and you want to attend those, please feel free. If you write for clients, you'll see me in one of the other ones, and there's another one on diversity of voices. I think we could continue that conversation in my third one about global voices. It's kind of like what we're doing here, sharing our gratitudes in that session. So guys, thank you so much for making time. I'm so grateful.
Yes,
I
it was
appreciate
nice. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah.
Let's stay in touch on Medium.
Yeah. All right. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bye.
meet me in my other session, HI. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
In the Global Voices one. Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay. All
Sarah
right. Here you go.
and Crystal as well. If you whatever you wanted to share, you can share in that one. Okay. Anyone else who felt shy or whatever, share in that one. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good
Bye.
rest of the thing.
Yeah.
Bye.
See you. Bye. Bye.